Hey Dixon, thanks for being with us today.
Sure, happy to be.
So, how long you been involved with the mentoring program?
I think about 3 years, close to 3 years.
How did it get started?
You asked me. And I had a wonderful experience in Kairos on a weekend up in Pennsylvania. And I knew this is something that I wanted to do. But I didn't know how to get into it. And then we became friends and we started working together. And you asked me and I said yes.
Could you just look, what was the Kairos thing?
It was amazing. If you know Kairos, it's just a weekend. And there were like 15 of us who came in and we spent the weekend inside. It was a medium security state prison in Chester, Pennsylvania. I never will forget, man, there must have been 100 of us. Outsiders, insiders, and we're all in a big circle. We're all seated. We go around the room, we start talking about why we're there. At some point I became aware that the space in the room, the air, was electric. I became aware that the Holy Spirit was in the midst of us. And I'm kind of looking around to see if I'm the only person who, and I'm not, I can tell. And as the weekend went on, that didn't go away. It just built and built and built. And what I found was that out of those 100 or so guys, there was a core of maybe a dozen guys who'd been doing Bible study together for years, who'd been doing their best to be faithful Christians for a long time. And they were the ones who ignited it. It wasn't me and the other guys who came in. They were the ones who set the place. Because they were just filled with the Holy Spirit.
And see, you bring up a great point because my experience with Kairos is very similar. And I believe it's a very, excuse me, very, very valuable spirit-driven thing. The problem I have experienced is that it's event. It happens once a quarter.
Right.
And what, in the years that I've been doing this type of ministry, I found that the guys need more than events. They need a process.
Okay, I mentored 3 guys. Each of them was just a spectacular human being in different ways. You know, I didn't ask them, gee, how'd you end up here? You got so much going for you. That wasn't my place to ask that. But I just felt like if I could just be there. And what I told each one of them was, as long as you want to meet with me, I'm going to meet with you. You know, we'll go our separate ways at some point, but I'm going to be there for you.
Those encounters, that was before they got out, or before and after?
Yeah, both.
Oh, both?
Yeah, so I had at least 5 visits with each of my guys while they were still inside. So I'm a visitor. We're looking through the plexiglass at each other, and we met for the hour. And then that transitioned into us getting together on the outside. And it basically was what worked best for the other fellow.
You and I have now started a new program in another facility. What was that like your first time on the inside in that facility?
Okay, so this is more of a traditional jail. And this is not like the reentry facility, which is geared toward the public coming in. This is more, there's a fence that's 2 stories high on the outside. There's razor wire up at the top, like maybe 6 feet of razor wire. They come and let you in, and when that gate clanks shut, it's a loud metallic sound. I don't mind telling you, my heart rate was up. My pulse was faster. And I think if I hadn't been with you, and you've been doing it since 1971, I'd have looked for some reason to get out the door. But because I was with you, and you've done it so much, and you know, even if I say something wrong, you're going to make it all turn out right. It was an amazing experience, and what I encountered in the fellows who were in our first class was, these are good guys. Man, I'm not saying that they're not guilty of whatever they're in for. I'm saying that there's a core in them that's good. And what I heard each of those guys say, in one way or another, using different language, was, I'm tired of this. I can't go on living like this. I got a family on the outside. I want to see my children grow up. I have to change. From my standpoint, here's what we're about. These are guys who are cut off from society. Most of them are cut off from their families. If they have any friends, they don't have them anymore because they've been inside for however long. They literally have no community. They don't get a Christmas card. They don't get a visitor. They don't get any cookies in the mail. They got nothing. And if we can offer them, look, here's how life in a faithful community can look like. If we can help hold that up, that's the best thing we can do.